Hello friends, welcome to my channel. In this video we are going to discuss about sling models. So in AEM, sling model plays a very important role, very vital role. Whenever we want to map our JCR, that is our Java content repository, to Java variables. Now sling model make it very easy to get the data from JCR and then map to the Java variables. We have a lot of annotations that are there, with the help of which we can just use this sling model implementation. But while developing any component, developers are confused whether to go with a sling model approach. So if there is any component that needs to be created, there are two ways. One is like you can create this component without sling model also, and another way is like you can use the sling model proper way, and then using the sling model you can have your dialog box, you can map the variables from JCR and then store and retrieve the data into the JCR. So the thing is like for developers, again the other option where we are not going to create any sling model, that approach seems to be easier, and most of the developers they think that it is an overhead or it increases the complexity of the component, or you can say it increases the complexity in terms of development. Today we'll discuss about the sling model approach, what are the different advantages and why it is recommended for all AEM components, if whether it is simple or complex, and when developer build them as per best practice, it saves development time both initially and during ongoing maintenance. So if there is any maintenance or something, this sling model approach gives a very good way through which we can reduce the time for maintenance. Sling models basically are annotation driven Java. So it again it's a plain old Java object that facilitates the mapping of data from the JCR, as we discussed. These are plain old Java objects. Again, mapping is done from JCR to Java variables. So first of all, it is pluggable. You can easily plug it to the JCR to get any data, any mapping, plus all the resource mapping can be done using this sling model, entirely annotation driven. Then supports resource properties like we have value map, we have sling map bindings, we have OSGI service, we have request attributes through which we are going to manage this. It can adapt multiple projects, minimal required resource, still sling HTTP server request. Again, it supports both classes and interface. Again, it is fully class based, and you can also implement, in order to make it loosely coupled, you can go for interface based implementation, easily work with other AEM Sling models without changing the bundle. So again, within the same bundle, if you want to interact with other Sling models, you can do without making any changes. And Adobe Experience Manager Sling models are similar to Adapter Factory, and nobody recognizes the difference between the Sling object. So it has number of uses, like it has JSON support, the processing of images, videos and links. Then again we have code consistency. So whosoever is going to create the code, it is a standard approach that whenever you are going to create any component, any interaction with the JCR, the best approach is to use sling model approach. So in this way, code is efficient, consistent, and manage pattern consistent, because again whenever we are going to implement in a class based or interface based, whenever you are going to use a proper design pattern, so it becomes very easy to, in terms of maintaining that code, in terms of upgrading that code. So all those things they are easy to depend. So again, it's very simple in order to create a sling model. So we have different annotations. We have using that we have different design patterns through which you can create it. And again, we have the archetype of also provided by Maven. So if you want to create a sling model, we have an archetype. You can just copy and paste that command, and once you execute that command, you have a full folder structure for that Sling model, and then you can open it in your any of your editor, and then you can have different annotation like inject annotation is there. You have different design patterns through which you can implement this Sling models. So in the next video we'll talk about the coding part also. But if you talk about the importance, so there are a number of importance in terms of code consistency, code efficiency, in terms of maintainability of the code, and in the way we fetch the data, the JCR mapping is done to the Java variables. That is also very good in terms of Sling model. So this was all about AEM Sling model. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching this video.